Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Rampage and welcome to my benchmark for Dying Light. Now just before I get into the video, I just want to state my system specs. So they are as follows: an i5-2500K clocked at 4.5 GHz, 16 gigs of Kingston HyperX 1600 MHz RAM overclocked to 1866 MHz, and an Asus GTX 970. So yeah, as you can see, for some reason it's using 2.4 gigs of VRAM. Not 100% sure why, but alright. Anyway, let's check out the settings. So resolution 1920 by 1080, full screen, VSync disabled, texture quality at high, shadow map resolution or size for some reason very high, foliage quality high, view distance maxed out, ambient occlusion, HBAO plus, depth of field, blur or motion blur, anti-aliasing all enabled. Alright, so let's quickly start the game. Now, just before I actually get into the game, I just want to show you the loading times.
This is not what I signed up for.
But yeah, I don't know if this game will max out my GPU. By maxed out, I mean use 3.5 gigabytes, but I will find out. If you're wondering why I said 3.5 gigabytes, that's because the 970, for some reason, once it hits the 3.5 gigahertz memory, it kind of lags once it hits that, because there's like another pool of memory and it takes, I don't know, no game really cares about it, and it's just like, has a seizure. So, yeah. Well, this is not the performance that I expected, but, yeah. Basically, it's using 3 gigabytes of system RAM, as VRAM, and it's not really maxing out my graphics card. It's got 74%, I believe, is the power limit, as well as 60% of the actual GPU is being used. And memory is at 3 gigabytes. And the CPU is going all apeshit, but before the patch 1.3, my CPU wasn't even hitting 60%, so I'm not really sure what the hell's going on here. But yeah, let me just quickly turn some of the settings down. No, not that yet. Let's just quickly turn down view distance to see what my frame rate's like. Got up like 4 or 5 frames. Wonderful. Let's get rid of a few of those NVIDIA. Oh, wait, what? Yeah. Get rid of ambient occlusion and HBAO plus, as well as depth of field, motion blur, anti-aliasing. So the frame rate that I was getting before was roughly 53 to 55 frames per second. So let's see what I get now. Lower. How does that work? I'm getting lower frame rates, yet I turned every one of those features off that I had enabled before. So that was, you know, shadow, HBAO plus, depth of field, anti-aliasing, motion blur. Turned all of that off. Yet for some reason, it gave me less frame rate? What? Do you even know how to code a game, Techland? I'm sorry, but that really needs to be said, because that's total bullshit. Now, I personally don't know what the hell's going on here. I believe that the game should be running better than this, but if some of you are like, oh, we'll turn down the visuals, alright, I will. Yep. That gained me a frame rate. Or, a frame rate. 1 frame. If that. Now, the only reason why I'm testing it like this is because I noticed that once I go into the city, it kind of stutters all over the place. So if I bring up the settings to what I had it at before, turn all this stuff back on, enable. Alright, now just start running. Beat the living shit out of this guy. I don't know if you noticed that, but it actually stuttered horribly. Went down to about 30 something frames. Oh shit. Fuck off. Hit the fuck with, thank you. Alright, so I need to find the building that I've been testing this on. I can't remember where it was. Oh, it's over here. So yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but it started from 69 frames per second all the way down to 49. Now this Techland is not optimal performance for a GTX 970 on your game called Dying Light. Now if some of you are like, oh well the textures look okay. Well, that's because of HBAO Plus as well as depth of field, mate. The shadow resolution isn't, the texture resolution isn't really that great once you get close to it. So, just putting that rumor to bed, I think. But I could be wrong. I don't know what the texture resolution is like. I don't know, but it just doesn't really look that great. It basically looks like Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide, which is kind of disturbing. That a game that was delayed a full year runs like this and looks like this is really embarrassing, I'd say, because look at that performance. 35 frames per second. Keep in mind that I am using shadow play, but you know, take away or add an extra 5 to 8 frames per second, it's still fucking shit, right? So any of you that have a GTX 970 or similar specs to me, please, by all means, let me know what your performance is like and whether it's the same as what I'm getting, because my CPU is not even being maxed out. My CPU is being maxed out in Assassin's Creed Unity. That's why every video that I fucking uploaded has really shitty mic quality, because for some reason it just couldn't process it. And yeah, for this game, no idea. Like, I was getting basically the same amount of frames in Assassin's Creed Unity. I understand that they're completely two different games, completely different developers and whatnot, different engines, I don't care. It's basically the same open world shit. What the fuck? Even Dead Rising 3 looks better than this, and it runs a little bit better. So, answer that question. I don't care if you say that it's because it's third person. It still runs better than this shit. Now, I'll also show you what my FOV is like. Whoops. Wait, game. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why audio's there randomly. My FOV is at 90. So, yeah. If you planned on playing with higher than that, it's probably not a good idea. But yeah, hold on. Let me just get up here and turn down some of the settings. Alright, so we'll turn down view distance. And we get 58 frames per second. So we got basically an extra 5 to 10 frames per second advantage there. But it's still, you know, this isn't too bad. 50 to 60 frames per second isn't too bad to play with. It's just when it stutters like that. 39 frames per second, 41 frames per second. Why is it performing like this? Now if I turn everything down but the texture resolution, for some reason it can't be changed during the game, I don't know why. But if I turn everything off, right, you'd expect the game to run really well, wouldn't you? Well, that's not really the case. You might say, oh, well 65 frames per second is very playable, mate. What the fuck are you talking about? Check the drops. Check the increases. Check the stutter. You guys obviously can't really tell the stutter because it's a YouTube video, but this is just running around this area. I don't know whether it's just this specific area that needs optimization, but this is not acceptable. I don't care what any developer says. If your console game is running at 30 frames per second, not constant, but yet, you know, on a $500 or $600 gaming machine or fucking console, why the hell can I not run this game completely maxed out with your form of anti-aliasing off at above 60 frames per second with a $500 fucking graphics card? This is what I feel like doing to Techland. This is the 4th consecutive game that has had horrible performance on day one. Stop it. You had over 12 months to fix all the bullshit. What the fuck were you doing that entire time, Techland? I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. Unacceptable stutter, for a $500 graphics card. Yes, it's $500 in Australia. I don't really give a shit what it's worth in your country. But I paid $530 for my 970. I expect to get performance back. This is abysmal. Look at that shit. The VRAM, 3.3 gigabytes. Why? What do you have that completely modded out Skyrim doesn't? Explain yourself. Games requiring higher amounts of VRAM, as well as, you know, the download size for some reason of every game over the last 2 years has been over 40 gigabytes. And this is the result of doing so. I'm not saying that because the games are over 40 gigabytes, that's because they lag. I'm saying that it just seems because they increased all the fucking files or they're uncompressed files, it seems like it just doesn't work. This shit happened in Dead Island, which was like 9 gigabytes as well. So to compare that game to this, it doesn't really make any sense. And this game, I think, is like 16 to 17 gigs or something like that. Something similar like that, but I'll have it on the screen probably, or in the description. But yeah, this is on the lowest settings, and it's stuttering like a total bitch. What the hell? Seriously, Techland, fix your fucking performance. Also, I noticed in the 1.3 patch notes that there was apparently minor performance increases or whatever to GTX 970s. Obviously not, since I just fucking made this video with 1.2.1. That update. And I actually got better performance. Now, granted, I am using the latest NVIDIA driver, so that could have something to do with performance, because apparently it's supposed to be the Dying Light driver anyway. So, I don't know what the hell is going on, but this is not optimized for this driver, or not even optimized at all. So, yeah, if I was you, I would stay the fuck away from this game until Techland decides to wake the fuck up and decide to fix it. Anyway guys, my name is Rampage. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what your performance is like with Dying Light. Seriously, I really want to know, because every time I say that, nobody tells me what their performance is like. They always say that, oh, I should be getting more than that, or they don't really give a shit. Just comment, please. It would be helpful to everyone. Just comment. But anyway guys, peace out.